So subject to, so this is when you buy a property with this existing lien in place, right? So a homeowner owns a property, they owe X amount, you're willing to pay a little bit more than that, and then you just take over their mortgage payments and just make those payments for you, for them, and then you don't have to pay the costs of getting a new mortgage. Works well if you've got limited equity and you're trying to give out just a little bit of cash to the seller, because if you're putting out a lot of cash to the seller, 100, 200, 500,000, then it might not make sense because your capital costs money too, right? Even putting your own money on it, you have to give some kind of nominal value to it. Whether you value that at 6 or 8 or 10%, your own cash has value. That's why using other people's money is better, that are passive investors. It was a purchase for $340,000. You can see this house on your Redfins and Zillows and stuff. You can kind of see the past. So the total consideration, right? The amount that we're paying for the house was $340,000. He owed $335,000 on his mortgage, and there wasn't much spread there. So I was like, I'm gonna bail you out of this foreclosure. The bank's not gonna take your house. I'll help you and your family move out when you want to, but I can only give you $5,000, right? He was so happy, him and his wife gave me hugs, so they were super happy about it because I gave him a couple months to move out, and I gave him $2,500 that next week when I closed and signed the grantee, and I gave him 2 months to move out, and I gave him another $2,500 when they moved out with per diem. So $5,000 total, but then I had to pay about $20,000 to $19,000 to reinstate the mortgage. He was behind on his mortgage, right? Lost his job, behind on his mortgage. And then I had to remodel it, and it sold for $485,000. So not a fat deal, but it was still a deal because I wouldn't have been able to do it if I had to get hard money, because that would have made it a losing deal, right? But it made a little bit of money on this one. So when I do these deals, I get the payoff and the reinstatement. So I know how much it would be cost to total payoff, then I get the reinstatement because I don't want them to foreclose, so I reinstate the mortgage that way too. So I took over his mortgage payment of $1,650 a month, but if I took hard money, that would have cost me $2,800 a month, right? $1,150 more. $2,800 in origination, you gotta pay at least a point, plus all the escrow and title fees and other junk fees that I had to pay for it, for the 3 to 4 to 5 months that I'd have to hold this house to remodel it, sell it, and flip it. That's several $1,000s. Plus, you're only getting an 80% LTV hard money loan. I'm gonna need $68,000 to put down. So now I'm out a lot of cash, as opposed to just the $24,000 that I put out, right? $19,000 for the reinstate, $5,000 for the seller. You can get title, it's still subject to, it stays on a lien, it's not cleared. So you just have that as a condition of your title, that's a lien that you're buying this house subject to, and we get the information on that lien.